Greetings. Today we're taking a look at the Subfactory, a new bass synthesizer from Era Music Technology. And they say it's a bass synthesizer meant to create industrial strength bass sounds, which is pretty valid after checking this out. So it's basically a dual wavetable synthesizer. You have two wavetable synths here and a sample section where you can put in a sample. There is a mixer here in the middle, which lets you mix between both of these synthesizers and the sample section. A filter section, just like on a synthesizer for filtering the sounds. An envelope section for how you want these wavetable synths to operate. You can also change it based on, it changes to a dynamic section when you go to the sample section, and you can change those here. There's also a modulation section with an LFO showing what the LFO is and targets. So if you click on targets, you can send this to different places on the synthesizer. So one thing that's really opened my eyes when using the Subfactory is I just think of bass as just one instrument. It's like bass sound. But the Subfactory has made me realize that it can be a combination of a lot of sounds. And it's really cool to kind of work on a bass sound in this plugin and see what's possible. So I thought what we do is just kind of go through some of the presets, check them out, maybe do some tweaking on some of these sections and see what we can get into. And I've loaded up some beats and things, some stuff I normally wouldn't do, because I think this synthesizer is particularly designed for more popular music, you know, like pop music, hip hop, R&B, dance music. But that being said, there's a section called drone, which sounds right up my alley. Let's start with this Symbiosis one, just to take it apart for a second. So here's what it sounds like. So you can already hear there's a lot of stuff in there. So we basically can listen to each of the synthesizers using the mixer section. So if you click on the ABS, A, B synthesizer, and then the S is the sample section. If I turn off the sample section and the B synthesizer, we can hear just the A synthesizer. There's a plane flying over the house right now. And that's the A section. Here's the B. And then the sample. Put them all together. So you can hear there's a lot going on there already. There's a lot of stuff. The mixer section lets you pan. You can pan the samples left to right. So I could put the B section to the left, A to the left, B to the right. Yeah. You can also map MIDI controls just like any other plug-in, especially in Ableton. It's really easy. I've already mapped the cutoff knob and the filter section here to the first knob on my controller. And right now it is filtering both A and B, but let's say I just wanted to filter B, I could turn off A. Let's say I wanted to assign another MIDI knob. So I could, in Ableton, just go to MIDI, and I could click on the resonance knob and set that. And now I have control of the resonance knob with my launch key MIDI. So. That was interesting. We also have the envelope section, which is just like a standard envelope. So we can change the attack, the delay, sustain, and release curves on each of these. Yeah, there we go. That's a really long release now. Short release. Yeah. And then the modulation section is being sent to index B, probably on the sample. And then on the wavetable, B, index B, and then filter AB on over here. So it's affecting that. This LFO is affecting the filter. That's why you can really hear it. You can also set the rate by hertz, or you can set it clocked to a rhythmic value. Yeah, so that's a basic run through. Down here at the bottom we have mod wheel settings, so we can adjust, we can have the mod wheel affect different things like the filter. I just have a little touch controller on the launch key. A little unison. Control. Doing a little portamento, a little glide. Portamento as the classical musicians call it. And then effects section. So we have a ring mod, a chorus, a drive, and an EQ, which all come in handy. There is something that's kind of interesting about this one, is it has a little sidechain section. If you notice in the sample section, there is a option here for sidechain. And what this does is you can choose to have either the sample or the wavetable oscillators basically sidechain compress the other one. So to make this really, right now it's set for the sample to sort of overtake everything, but it becomes more apparent if I change the release time of, say, the wavetables. And then, yeah. So this is now letting the sample punch through, and then it's releasing, it's pushing down the wavetable, and then slowly coming back up. If I shorten the release, it'll come up faster. Cool. That could be handy for some really creative bass tones. Yeah. All right, let's check out some presets. So in the menu up here at the top, we have a bunch of categories for presets, and you can tell this is sort of geared towards like 808 bass sounds right away. So we have 808 category, 808 creative, some different variations on 808s. I have a student who asks for 808 stuff all the time, so they're gonna love seeing this. Synth, pluck, hybrid, motion, drone. And you can create your own user patches, which I've done. But let's just go through some of the classic 808 sounds. And I'll just go through them. Kind of like that one. I like the dirty ones. Cool. Let's see what this creative one is. Incantation. Yeah. Let's check out some of the synth ones. Strangers. Cool. Drone. The drone ones I was interested in, like, let's check out this one. It's pretty deep bass drone. It's pretty cool. So one thing I noticed is, let's say I wanted to add in this B synthesizer. Up here at the top in the plus sign, you can change what you want to use as your source. So they have this vowels section, which I thought was kind of cool. So you can have a vowel show up. And if we just want to hear that, we can turn off A. Let's try another one. There we go. Turn back on A. And then we can use this index knob to kind of find some different places on the vowel to mess with. That's cool. And then we can get real fancy with the filter, with the resonance. that's cool. So I did a little recording with this earlier, and I kind of want to show you something cool that I came across in the envelope section that you can use to make things more interesting. So I just have some drum loops that I imported, and here we go. The cool thing you can do is, down on the envelope section, we can add delay to the onset of the synth. So now it's like offset the beat a little bit. Kind of gives it a cool feel, like when it's right on the beat. That's cool. But if you offset it, you got to be careful, because if you go too far, it goes too far. Just something I was messing with. It's kind of a cool feature of the envelope section. I have some other beats here. I think it sounds a little cooler when you play stuff in context, so there we go. Try some of these plucks. Again, you can change anything you want about any of these, which is awesome. Although I will say, I think the strength of this plugin is there's a lot of bass sounds already ready to go, and a lot of these sound pretty good. So, you know, you can just roll in, pick a sound, and start from there and, you know, do it up. Let's try a different beat. That kind of sounds like Billie Jean. That's crazy. Yeah. Yeah. So this one sounds like it's being controlled a lot by this modulation. So if we wanted to, we could set this to like 16ths. All right, I think that's good for now. That kind of gives you an idea of what it's all about. But who's the subfactory for? I think it's for producers who need some hard-hitting bass real fast. And that doesn't mean that it's simple. You know, some of those menus are deep dives. I mean, there's a lot of stuff in those wavetable synthesizers. And the idea of combining together two synthesizers with a sample to make one bass sound, I mean, in one app, that's pretty awesome. That's something that I would track out. Like I would usually do 3 tracks, combine that, and then make my own instrument. But it's really nice to have it all in one box, you know? So, Subfactory, check it out. All right, see ya.